personally authorized by you. The board of directors will crucify you.
There's something strange inside that man's head.
Later, Dinah.
Howdy guys, welcome back to Urban Odyssey. I hope everybody is doing well this holiday week. It has really snuck up on us all. Christmas is in 2 days, and then it'll be 2026, and this next year that is coming in fast is going to be a wild year indeed. We're back for our fifth installation, Juxtaposition and I, of our weekly series. And I do want to just thank everybody for their support, first of all. It seems like everybody is greatly enjoying it. But I would also like to remind everybody that we have done 4 shows prior to this one, and that they do tend to build on each other. They have a lot of really good information in them. And if you haven't seen those yet, I do tend to make a highlight reel for people who just want to see a few clips from it. But then you're heavily encouraged to see the full shows, because a lot of the themes that we talk about do build on each other. But with that said, guys, I want to bring up my co-host and welcome him, Mr. Juxtaposition.
Yes, hello, Josh. How are you today, sir?
Great. Thanks for being with me.
Happy holidays.
You as well. It's coming up fast, man. Been a fast year.
Yes, I agree.
So a lot of people seem to really be enjoying the work we're doing every episode, just to kind of keep.
First, want to use deception and the inversion and perversion of words, then you have to overcome that in order to get to the accuracy, so that you can gain context and content and get yourself closer to the true facts and circumstances of the situation that we find ourselves in, which is that you're in a farm, you're in a plantation, you're in a Hunger Games sponsored by Switzerland, and the sheriff is not going to rescue you. The sheriff works for the controller. It's where you get their paychecks. It's a job. The law enforcement, the judges, they're all in the pockets of the bankers who pay them, because there is no county, there's no state, there's no federal government that pays anyone. We went over that in my my UC Berkeley and MIT Department of Energy example. The Department of Energy is paying billions of dollars, 20 to 50 billion dollars to MIT and Berkeley, not counting another 15 universities which are paid billions of dollars. Is that the United States has no money. It runs a $2 trillion deficit every year. So it's Switzerland who would fund the Department of Energy. It is Switzerland who funds the weapons research for the entire world. And it would be Geneva, Switzerland who pays for Medicare and the pharmaceutical industries and any trace, track, and targeting bioweapons like the COVID vaccine, for example, which is a bioweapon, and the bird flu vaccine, which is a bioweapon, and the monkeypox, and the COVID Omicron deadly variant, or the flu shot. Those are all trace, track, and targeting bioweapons having to do with synthetic biology. Once you cross over from the world of biology into synthetic biology, you've entered molecular engineering. And in that world, that's called human augmentation in my book. So if any of the words I just used are troublesome to you, do look them up. Look up neuromodulation, look up molecular engineering, look up molecular communication, which is the same thing. Molecular engineering, communication, same thing, especially if it's deploying weapons of mass destruction for Jennifer Doudna, known as CRISPR Therapeutics. So if you don't know, CRISPR is an acronym. It's a military acronym, meaning pulsing, like phased array vector evaluation, phased array weapon, direct energy weapons. If you don't know that, then you'll remain clueless in a profane world. The matrix of mendacity will become your reality. The metaverse will be your reality. So if you want to break out of the matrix and get outside of the metaverse, you've got to learn the militarization and applied linguistics terms and were 100% controlled through the form of the publishing of the textbooks and the what is and is not allowed by the teachers to speak on in class. And the doctors are fully controlled through Medicare or socialized medicine programs through the insurance companies. But dominantly, anthropology decided in Geneva, Switzerland, for the WHO, World Health Organization. They're the ones that will decide how doctors will get paid. And that's who you work for. If you're wondering who do you work for, you don't work for Trump. Okay, you don't work for your pseudo governor. You don't work for Ron DeSantis or Greg Abbott or Gavin Newsom. You don't work for them. You work for whoever you get your paycheck from. And if you're a doctor, you get the paycheck from Medicare in the United States, primarily. 79% of every dollar comes from Medicare. And baked through Medicaid programs too. So if you're just a pediatrician working with children, you're still getting Medicare money, believe it or not. So that includes the pharmaceutical industries, which gets paid dominantly by Medicare. And you're talking about a system that can be weaponized because the payer of the compensation for teachers, doctors, judges, sheriff's departments, they work for
you basically made the point that popped into my mind. If they really, it's like everything that we've got in terms of technology today, they could fix that problem so fast it would. And why haven't they? That's another thing to look at. Why, for instance, you see certain problems that are almost like, this is so easy to fix. I could fix this in my sleep. Why hasn't it been fixed? The first thing you should know is that it's designed to be a problem that way for a reason. And those are
another example is I'm posting holiday music, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the MTV videos I posted was Band-Aid. Do they know it's Christmas? They're referring to Ethiopia in Africa. Do they know that it's Christmas when they're all starving to death? So world hunger, that fits into the banking category also, because don't you think that the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund and the Central Bank of Central Bankers, Bank for International Settlements in Basel, and Credit Suisse, or what's it called? The Union Bank of Switzerland, UBS, you think they could solve world hunger? Yeah, in about 6 minutes. But no, we need to get a bunch of commercial pop bands to appeal to the public to send in their hard-earned money to solve a problem in Africa that Geneva, Switzerland, and the United Nations have been working on that problem since 1948. Since 1948, which is approximately 80 years, and Switzerland cannot solve the problem, but maybe you can. Poppycock, balderdash, and mendacity is what I say about that. Josh, world hunger.
I was going to say, yeah, I mean, this will probably all be fixed once they finish those personal carbon use trackers that we're all going to need to have a carbon. It'll show us how much carbon we're using every second of the day. And so
they're going to have it on your menu too, based on what food selections you pick. They'll drain your bank account, or they're going to charge you per kilometer you drive your car. You're going to be all roads will be toll roads, including driving around your town. So if you're out driving around like a DoorDash driver or a pizza delivery driver, you're going to find that your odometer, all the new cars are going to be telemetry data supplied to the HAL 9000. And then at the end of the month, you'll have a debit electronically deducted from your account for all the mileage you drove your car, like an Uber driver or a pizza delivery driver or a DoorDash driver. So that's going to be an added cost that's coming.
Oh no, it really is. There's already geofencing and geotiming that's being installed on cars that have computer systems. And when you update the computer system, it has you go and agree to the terms of service. And so, that's what you're agreeing to. It's just nobody reads it.
Yeah, Michael Brooks in Brooklyn, New York, said that all the new cars sold back in New York City say you get your dashboard and your ignition switch. You get comped for 1 year after you purchase a brand new expensive car. But in year 2, you have to pay $45 a month to activate your car. Important. The medium is the message. This is from his 1964 published book, and you can't really be published unless you're approved by COINTELPRO Intelligence for NATO. Anyway, this is the most important quote attributed to Marshall McLuhan because it's the title of his book, Understanding the Media and the Extensions of Man. The Extensions of Man, 1964. See, he's trying to explain how man has evolved over the last 2,000 years from gossiping, out in the workplace to having official authorities post the Ministry of Truth messages in the town square. That's another way to communicate to mass groups of people. In other words, you could gossip one-to-one or in a group of 2 or 3. But if you want to do mass communications, you need to post them. There are MIMS and MIMOs operated by MOSA and SOSA. And if you don't know what those acronyms, those are military acronyms, you don't know what they mean, you should look them up. MIMS and MIMOs, MOSAs and SOSA, wireless sensor networks, biomechanics, biotelemetry, information, eyeball recognition, real ID, MAC address, MAC, media access control, tagged and targeted like a cow, tethered to the cloud like a walking hard drive. And Marshall McLuhan believed that understanding the effects of different media technologies was essential to understanding the effect of media on the human society and culture. The medium is the message. Even Ted Kaczynski knew that with his essay that the media wrongly labeled his manifesto when it was about the society in the industrial age. That's what Ted Kaczynski was talking. He was talking about the industrial age, which includes communication. But the media wants to say he's a whack job loner living in a cabin with no toilet and no grocery store. This is, of course, implausible that you could live without a grocery store, and never mind no porta potty. But the point is that the medium is the message, and I think that that's lost on most people, that they don't understand that they're in a Svengali trance. They could be ended up watching porn all day because they don't understand